अस्सलाम वालेकुम माय यूट्यूब फैमिली, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल शीन रिएक्शंस। दिस इज़ मीनो शीन चौधरी और मेरे साथ हैं
अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस, दिस इज़ मी चौधरी आसिफ अली। उम्मीद करता हूँ आप सब लोग खैरियत से होंगे।
जी। वी होप सो कि आप सब लोग फिट फाट होंगे, टिप टॉप होंगे, मज़े में होंगे। और रमज़ान कैसा चल रहा है आपका, मौसम कैसा है, हमें ज़रूर कमेंट्स में बताइएगा। तो आज हम जो वीडियो आपके लिए लेके आए हैं, वीडियो का टाइटल है बांग्लादेश इकनॉमिक ग्रोथ मिरेकल। वाकई बांग्लादेश जो है वो जैसे उसकी इकनॉमिक ग्रोथ हो रही है, एक मिरेकल से कम नहीं है। कि बहुत ज़्यादा, एक तो मेहनत भी है, लेकिन इतनी ज़्यादा मेहनत कोई मिरेकल से ही कर सकता है। तो वीडियो स्टार्ट करने से पहले वीडियो को लाइक कर दें, चैनल पे हो तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें और बेल आइकन को हल्का सा प्रेस कर दें ताकि हमारी आने वाली हर वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुंच सके और आप सबसे पहले वीडियो देखें। लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो। 3, 2, 1 स्टार्ट।
Bangladesh is probably not the country that
ये जो
comes to
सीन है ना
mind
बहुत
when
ही
you think
ब्यूटीफुल लगता है
about
जब भी
economic
देखें।
miracles. Its GDP per capita is just $1,750, and close to 15 million of the 166 million people in the country live on less than $1.90 a day. But compared to Bangladesh a decade ago, the country is already on the upswing. Since 2009, Bangladesh's economy has grown by more than 6% per year, and its GDP per capita has almost tripled. In addition, the rate of extreme poverty in the country has dwindled from roughly 20% to just under 9%. Welcome everyone, and let's check out how this economic underdog made a 180 turn and doesn't stop pushing forward. Basket case. Basket case is a term used to describe a country or an organization whose economic situation is very bad. Shortly after Bangladesh became independent in 1971, Henry Kissinger, then US National Security Advisor, derisively referred to the country as a basket case. Bangladesh became associated with poverty and for decades was seen as an economic laggard in South Asia, making woeful progress in alleviating mass poverty or promoting sustained economic growth. Many scholars and analysts feared that the country would remain a ward of the global community, acutely dependent on foreign aid. Some went as far as to predict a Malthusian nightmare in the country, with its population outgrowing the availability of food. If you want to find out how Bangladesh overcame this rather negative connotation and is now viewed as a miracle, stay until the end of the video. Support us by liking, subscribing, and pressing that bell button. Despite the dire expectations, military coups in 1975, 1982, and 2007, and a series of natural disasters, Bangladesh has in fact made significant progress in reducing poverty and in promoting economic growth. Among South Asian economies, Bangladesh is touted as a rising star.
Wow, beautiful.
In 2019, its per capita income was $1,856, substantially higher than Pakistan's $1,285 and only $250 less than that of India. In 2020, Bangladesh might have edged ahead of India because it registered a growth rate of 2.4%, whereas India's GDP shrank by 7.3%. Few least developed countries can match Bangladesh's record in this respect. Various indicators of human development also show significant improvement. Life expectancy in 2019 was 72.6 years, a gain of over 7 years since 2000. Mean years of schooling were up from 4.1 to 6.2, and the country's Human Development Index (HDI) value had climbed from 0.478 in 2000 to 0.632 in 2019. The sources of growth. Bangladesh's growth stems in large part from its success as an exporter of garments, which account for 84% of its total exports, and remittances from overseas, which amount to over 6% of GDP. The principal driver of growth is investment, which has risen from 24% of GDP in 2000 to 32% in 2019. Very little is derived from total factor productivity, below 1% per year since 2000, the primary determinant of long-term growth of incomes for all countries. Among the country's achievements is a dramatic improvement in its citizens' average standard of living. Even more noteworthy are the improvements in social indicators such as life expectancy, infant and maternal mortality, fertility, and female labor force participation. And equally important, Bangladesh has managed to sustain a modicum of democratic stability, keeping the army in the barracks. Once infamous for power cuts, Bangladesh has become a surplus power-generating country. It also exports around $1 billion worth of tech products and services every year. This is likely to jump by 5 times by 2021. In 5 years, according to many estimates, Bangladesh will escape the least developed country tag, which, when it happens, will be a breakthrough moment for the country. Garments, remittances, and agriculture. The impressive growth of the garment sector has brought about structural transformation in the economy of Bangladesh. Dependence on export and decline in foreign aid, dependence on manufactured goods rather than on primary goods, providing employment to female workers, making them empowered, especially among the poor and the uneducated. This sector is a contributor to the eradication of poverty, where the extreme poverty is 10.5%. The total number of laborers working abroad was 11.5 million in 2017, which is 4.5% of the total population and 11% of the total labor force, and the remittance figure from the expatriates stood at $18.21 billion, registering an all-time high in the last fiscal year. As a result, the country's foreign currency reserve was increased, which was $44.03 billion, contributing to the economic development and reduction in the poverty level. During the first 5 months of the current fiscal year, remittance inflow has even increased by 22.67%. The flow of remittances into the country shows an upward trend in the current fiscal year, as the government has taken measures, including 2% cash incentives, to streamline the legal channel for encouraging the non-resident Bangladeshis to send money to the country. The major factors contributing to higher remittances through the banking channels include depreciation of taka against the US dollar, higher rate offered by local banks, and the surveillance of Bangladesh Bank on Hundi. The agricultural sector of the country contributed tremendously to its economy in terms of food security, employment generation, and poverty alleviation. There has been a sharp increase in food grain production during the last 4 decades. Rice, the staple food of the country, was produced triple to 35 million metric tons as a result of the liberalized input market, expansion of irrigation, and research of rice for innovation and yield. Furthermore, growth in small, medium, and micro enterprises has also contributed to the economic development of the country. The foreign direct investment, FDI, is considered as an important motivator of economic development and a principal avenue for the development finance. Over the last 10 years, the FDI has been playing an essential role in maintaining the tempo of the current economic development of Bangladesh. It has also immensely contributed to reinforcing foreign currency reserve, creating new job opportunities, and increasing labor skills. Educate girls. If there is one mantra for developmental success, it might be this: educate girls. The World Bank, which has given around $29 billion to Bangladesh in assistance and interest-free credit to help its development, has noted the country is that rare example among developing nations of a place where gender parity has been achieved in primary education. This means an approximately equal number of boys and girls receive the same quality of primary education in Bangladesh. This has led to more women entering the workforce in the manufacturing sector. 80% or more of the organized textile jobs are held by women. A 2014 investigation by the National Bureau of Economic Research by Rachel Heath and Mushfiq Mobarak discovered that there was a distinct connection between the education of women and them getting factory jobs, especially in textiles, and further growth in education. It was, in a sense, a virtuous cycle. They found that the manufacturing sector growth in Bangladesh had sizable effects on parents' propensity to keep younger girls in school, older girls' propensity to engage in wage work, and both of these factors allowed women to postpone marriage and childbirth. The paper said that the garment manufacturing industry in Bangladesh had played a definitive role in the betterment of women's lives for more than 4 decades. Getting good primary education, especially for girls, has had an additional benefit of starting to manage better and bring down Bangladesh's large and densely packed population. Population growth has stopped exploding. In fact, it has started to fall, and between 2010 and 2018, the number of employed workers living under the poverty line declined by around 60%. A way forward for Bangladesh. Armed with the knowledge that there are different types of innovation, each having different impacts on an economy, Bangladesh can continue its economic ascendancy by investing in market-creating innovations. If the government and entrepreneurs within the country focus on making products and services more affordable for Bangladesh's 166 million people in areas such as healthcare, food production, manufacturing, insurance, and entertainment, these new markets will lead to more sustainable jobs. Efficiency innovations, such as those prevalent in garment manufacturing for the rest of the world, can only take the country so far. It is by investing in market-creating innovations that Bangladesh can not only sustain its current miracle, but also propel its economy to greater heights. What do you think about the miracle in Bangladesh? Can it be sustained, or is it just a temporary success? If you're from Bangladesh, please share your views with us. Don't hesitate to give your opinion and share your knowledge with everyone in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, everyone.
जी तो फ्रेंड्स, ये था आज का वीडियो। बहुत ही अमेजिंग और बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त वीडियो था कि बांग्लादेश का जो है इकॉनमी ग्रोथ का मिरेकल क्या है। तो सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने जो बताया कि वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, वो एक बहुत ही बड़ा पॉइंट है कि वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट हुई है, उसकी वजह से जो है वुमेंस बहुत सारे जॉब्स भी कर रही हैं। एक तो ये भी है, वो इकनॉमिक जो है ग्रोथ में हिस्सा ले रही हैं, और दूसरा जो वुमेन एजुकेशन है उस पर भी उन्होंने काफ़ी ध्यान दिया। हेल्थ सेक्टर हो गया, इसके अलावा बहुत सारी इनोवेशंस हुई हैं इंडस्ट्रीज़ में। जैसा कि उन्होंने बताया कि जब बांग्लादेश बना था 1971 में, तो एक फॉरेनर ने कहा था कि ये एक जो है वो बास्केट केस है, लेकिन बांग्लादेश ने मेरिकलेसली तौर पे जैसे ग्रूम किया, जैसे अपनी इकोनॉमी को ग्रोथ दी, उसमें उन्होंने टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर हो गया, हेल्थ सेक्टर हो गया, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग जो है उसको साथ लेके चले। ये मेरिकल भी कह सकते हैं, लेकिन ये मेरिकल नहीं है, ये मेहनत है। ये उन लोगों की जो है वो मेहनत का ही नतीजा है कि बांग्लादेश की जो इकोनॉमी है उसको इतना बूस्ट मिला। तो मुझे तो वीडियो बहुत अच्छी लगी। इस तरह की जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोज़ होती हैं देख के अच्छा लगता है कि बांग्लादेश वाले जो हैं वो इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं और कैसे उन्होंने अपनी इकोनॉमी को जो है वो एकदम से जो है राइज अप उनकी हुई है।
जी तो फ्रेंड, जैसा कि उन्होंने हवाला दिया हेनरी किसिंगर का, जो अमेरिका के नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइज़र थे उस टाइम 1971 में, तो उन्होंने बोला था बांग्लादेश जो है एक बास्केट केस है, ये कभी भी ग्रो नहीं हो सकेगा, इसकी इकोनॉमी कभी ठीक नहीं होगी और ये दोबारा से पाकिस्तान के साथ मिल जाएगा। लेकिन बांग्लादेश ने साबित कर दिया कि वो ग्रो कर सकते थे। उन्होंने हेल्थ के सेक्टर को उठा लें, टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर को उठा लें, ज़राअत का सेक्टर उठा लें, IT का सेक्टर, हर सेक्टर में वो बेहतर काम कर रहे हैं। और आज पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश से 5 टाइम बिगर है, लेकिन इकोनॉमी में बांग्लादेश से पीछे रह गया। तो बांग्लादेश ने यही किया, ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट पे काम किया, ठीक है। फ़ीमेल को उन्होंने एजुकेशन दी है, जैसा कि उन्होंने बताया। तो अब फ़ीमेल स्टडी भी कर रही हैं और 80% जो टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर है वो फ़ीमेल चला रही हैं। और बहुत से मुल्कों से बांग्लादेश में जो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट है वो ज़्यादा है, बाकी मुल्कों में इस तरह से नहीं है। और साथ में उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि बांग्लादेश लीस्ट डेवलपिंग कंट्री की लिस्ट में है, लेकिन वो इससे निकल रहा है। तो इस चीज़ से साबित होता है कि दुनिया के जो बड़े बड़े इदारे हैं इकॉनमी के, वो भी इस चीज़ को नोट कर रहे हैं कि बांग्लादेश कितनी तेज़ी से ग्रो हो रहा है और अब लीस्ट डेवलपमेंट कंट्रीज़ की लिस्ट से निकल रहा है। तो वो आर रियली वेरी इंप्रेस।
तो आप लोग ज़रूर बताइएगा कि आपको वीडियो कैसी लगी। वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिएगा, चैनल पर हो तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा और बेल आइकन को हल्का सा प्रेस कर दें ताकि हमारी आने वाली हर वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन आप तक पहुँच सके और आप सबसे पहले वीडियो देखें। इसके अलावा आप इंस्टाग्राम पर जाके हमें फॉलो कर सकते हैं और अपनी फेवरेट वीडियो जो आप देखना चाहते हैं वो रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। टिल देन स्टे हेल्दी,
स्टे वेल्दी,
स्टे ऑसम। अल्लाह हाफिज़।